So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the decimal conversion to binary numbers. Right, decimal numbers to binary numbers conversion. So why do we need this? Again, because human is in decimal, 10 fingers, 10 is decimal, but computer is just 2, 0, and 1 on and off. It's binary, right? So machine actually do not understand 213, but machine will understand 0110. We're going to convert 213. This is introduction to computer class, so you try to understand computer language. So how do we convert decimal 213 into the machine language, which is the binary numbers? So since we know binary is base 2, then we're going to pick 213 and we're going to divide 213 with 2. Okay, I'm going to divide this with 2. Alright, so how many times I can divide 213? Yeah. So 213 we said 2, 1, 2, 1 is 0, 2, 6 is 12, right? And the remainder is 1, right? And now I keep dividing this by another 2, right? So just divide again. So, and keep tracking on remainder, okay? So 106 divided by 2, what do we get? 2, 5 is 10, and 2, 3 is 6, and remainder should be 0, right? And we keep dividing again. We're going to keep dividing this until it's get to 0, pretty much. So 53 divided by 2, what do we get? Like I said, we're going to keep dividing this. I'm going to put 2, right, to divide that next number right away. So 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 12, right? So its remainder is 1, right? We divide, keep tracking on remainder. We keep dividing again. 2, 1, 2, and 6 is 2, 6, 3. Remainder is 0. Now divide again until we get to 0, right? Keep doing that. So 2, 6 is 12. Then remainder is 1. Right. Now divide again. 2, 3 should give you 6. And remainder should be 0. Then 2, 3 divided by 2, 2, 1, right? And remainder is 1. 2, 1, 2, right? Plus 1 is giving 3, right? And now we're going to do the last one. Like I said, we're going to get into 0. 1 divided by 2, what do we get? 1 divided by 2, we get 0 because it cannot divide, but remainder is 1. Alright, so we're done. And if you look at your remainder, it looks similar to machine language. So what do we need is pretty much just rewrite this. Okay. We're going to rewrite this to 11010101, right? So that should be a binary of 213. We can double check if we get it right. Okay, now when you rewrite this, make sure it's, if you start from the bottom up, then you just do left to right. Okay, in the same direction, like that. Left to right, bottom up. Okay, you go from top down, then right to left. Okay. Now, let me just put the arrows, then you understand when you rewrite left to right. Go to this direction, up, okay? Go up direction. I just want to make sure we're not making mistake. Okay, that direction you right. Alright, let's double check, convert the binary to decimal. We are all very good at this by this time. What do we get? 128 plus 64, right? Plus 16 plus 4 plus 1. So 16 plus 4 is 20. Right? 20 plus 1, 21. 21, 64. 85. 85. 113, right? 85, 128. 213, right? Then that is correct. So we can just do divide and get the remainders. Alright, that's one way to do this. The second way, okay, one way to do this. So the second way, we can set, hey, we have 213. We can just take the principle that we know here, right? Subtract off 128, right? So 213 subtract 120, what do you get? Okay, so 85. And 85 subtract off what? 64, right? What do we get? Okay, 21. Okay, if you say subtract off 16, can we subtract 32? No, right? Then that means we have 110, right? Because 128 is the ones, and 64 is the another one. We cannot subtract 32, that's why it's 0. We could subtract by 16. So subtract 16, what do we get? 5. Okay, can we subtract with 8? No, because it's 5. Then it's 0, right? That's the 8 bit, right? Then we subtract with what? 4 and 1, right? 4, right? And not 2, right? So let's subtract with 4 first. Then we get 1. We cannot subtract with 2, that's 0. And then we subtract with 1. Then we just keep doing that until we get 0. That's the second way. Alright? You can do the same. Either divide or subtract. If you like division, then do division. If you like subtraction, then do subtraction. And the test any method is fine because I want to see the answers. That's the correct answer. Even you know how to do it and your answer is not correct, then you get 0. As long as your answer is correct and know how to do it. Now let's see how do we convert decimal to hexadecimal. So it should be the same, just like how do you convert binary to, decimal to binary, divide by 2. You can do subtraction too. If you pretty much just subtract from what was 16 to the is, right? If you happen to pick that number, like now I have 16, then another one is 16 to 2, right? What was 16 to 2 is, you can try with that. There are 2 ways. So let's do divide by 16 way. So let's say, for example, I have 233. So we're going to say 16 divided by 233. And keep tracking the remainders, but this remainder is in hexadecimal numbers, because we convert to hexa, right? Alright, so, and what will you get? You're going to have to divide by 16 again. So 16 is 1, right? Because 23 is 16, and remainder is what? 7? 73 divided by 16. 73 by 16, 32, 48, and 64. 73 subtract 64. By the way, how many times that's 64? 4, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 3, right? Alright, let me just do the math then. So we said we have 16 and then 32, right? And then what? 64 and then 128, right? Is that right? So this is 16, 1, 16, 16, 2, 32, 16, 3. So this is about 16, 3. And 73, take away 64, which is 9, right? So remainder is 9. Correct? Now we do it again, 16 and 13. Well, here's 0. And 13 is in hexadecimal is A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D, right? D. That's very fine. D, right? 13. So the answer is 9D. 9D. And we like to put OX to represent hexadecimal front. If we double check, right? Like I said, we rewrite this 9D, right? Double check, which is what? 9 times 16, right? Plus 9 D, which is 13 times 1. We get 54, 919, 919, 144, right? Plus 13. Is it right? So maybe it's not right. Let's see, 16, 1, 16. That's 7 and 3, 64. Oh, it's not. That's why I have it wrong. 6, 3 is 18, 48. And then 4. 16's times, let me do this. 16's times 1 is 16. 16's times 2 is 32, right? 16's times 3 is 48, right? And then 16's times 4 is 64, right? 16's times 5, maybe that 16 will help. 80, which is what we want now, right? This actually is 4, right? Not 3, right? Then we have 64, and that's 73. Now this is going to be 14. 14 is what? E, right? 9E. E9, yeah, that's right. The direction. I told you, sometimes confusing, so put the arrows, right? This way, left to right, bottom up. So 9, E9. 16 plus 9 times